Hello, welcome to this week's episode where I'm going to unpack for you exactly how I'm structuring my ad accounts right now so that you have some practical tips that you can take away and implement and test in your account too. Because if you've been running ads for a while, you will know it's all about testing. It's all about being super nimble and trying new things when things start to wobble. We can't just set and forget with our ads. We have to definitely be in there and be open-minded to trying and testing new things. Now, Q4, this last part of the year, is always so incredibly wobbly because it's the most competitive time. Now, the Meta auction is limited as far as how many ad spaces are available to us. And during the lead up to Black Friday, it's generally when everyone comes out and starts running ads, particularly Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then of course Christmas. So that auction space is a lot more competitive and it ends up costing us a lot more money, and it's a lot harder to stand out and find our people and have them click through and make a purchase. So it's definitely a wobbly time. If it's been particularly tricky for you, I hear you. I've had some accounts that have really, really struggled, and others that have seemed to have come through unscathed. So let me share with you exactly what we're doing and how we try to navigate this, not just this fourth quarter, but every fourth quarter during this Black Friday crazy time. All right, let's go. Hi, welcome to the Online Store Success Podcast. I'm your host, Jody Minto, an e-commerce coach and meta ads specialist. Each week, I share with you practical strategies to help you grow a profitable online store that runs in school hours and supports your lifestyle. Let's get into it. All right, I'm excited to share this with you today, and I am fully aware that it might be a bit tricky given that I'm not sharing the screen and this is audio only. And I just want to preface this with, please feel free to absolutely try any of these strategies or tactics that I'm sharing with you if you would like my help and feedback around how to apply them to your ads or to deep dive into your results over the past few months. I do have a one-off paid one-on-one call option where we can do that. We can actually go in and do a live Zoom call where you share your screen and I'll audit your ads and give you some suggestions and things like that. I want to say that because I actually, after every episode like this that I share, talking about meta ads in particular, I get a lot of DMs and I get a lot of emails, people asking for advice about what they should do with their ads. And of course, as an e-commerce business coach, that's my business. That's what I do, is that I have different courses, I have different coaching packages to help you do that. I'm not, unfortunately, there's not only one of me and so many hours in the day here to answer absolutely every question about your ads, unless we have some sort of paid working arrangement. So please don't be disappointed if you reach out and ask for free advice and I politely decline, because like I said, after every episode like this, I get so many, you would be surprised. All right, so enough about that. Like I said, go to my website, jodyminto.com, all the different ways I can work with you and you can have me look at your ads, and more than happy to do that. Now, what are we seeing right now? Now, my last episode, I talked about this Andromeda update and what Meta is advising us around how to structure our accounts. And that's all well and good. However, I'm not really seeing it working, if I'm honest with you. So to rewind back to that previous episode, and feel free to go and have a listen to it, the advice is that we're not necessarily relying on singular hero ads anymore, that it's more about a collection of ads. So we will have a number of different ads sitting within an ad set that talk to the different points in the buyer's journey, and talking about different things, and so there is, digital marketing theory around, we've got our problem aware audience and we've got our solution aware audience, and it's about crafting different messaging to talk to those different buyers. So problem aware is like, I have this problem but I'm not aware of what I can do to fix it, right? So if you have a product that solves a problem, doing some ads, creating some ads that talk to what this problem is, and then presenting yourself as a great solution. Then we have our solution aware buyer who understands that they have a problem and understands what the option, that there is solutions available, but they're just looking for the right one for them. So then we're also talking to that particular customer. We're also considering the sales funnel, the top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, right? So creating different copy and ads that talk to each stage of the funnel. So go back and listen. I gave you examples in the previous episode. So what we were trying and what we've sort of been recommended to do is to pop all of those different ads all into one ad set altogether. So maybe 10 ads, maybe 15 ads, maybe 20 ads under one ad set, and let the algorithm do its thing. All well and good in theory, but what I'm seeing in most accounts is that Meta will just pick one or two ads and spend all of the money there. Whether or not it does well or not, it just keeps spending the money there. What I'm also seeing is when you create a new ad, all of the money seems to then be diverted to that. So what that means in reality is that we've got all of these other ads that often don't get any spend at all. They might get a few dollars here, $10 here, $10, whatever it might be, right? So we're going to all this effort of making all of these ads, but they're not really getting a chance. So what I'm doing in not only my own ad account, but guiding my mastermind clients with right now, like I said, this could change next month, right? Because it's the world of Meta ads, is that we are still doing all of those best practices around we're using an Advantage Plus sales campaign, we're using a broad audience. I don't worry about any exclusions, but I'm not just having one ad set, we're having lots of ad sets with ads sitting underneath it. And the number of ads sitting underneath it is a bit less. Because if we stick all of our ads into one ad set, they're just not getting the spend, right? Or it's not being shared evenly. And there's, some trains of thought that, well, Facebook just determines which will be the best performer, and that's why it's spending the money there, but it's not always the case. We often see that they get it wrong. So what we're doing is we're creating multiple ad sets. Now you can categorize or use whatever sort of filing system that you like as far as ad sets go. But in my case, say I've got 15 ads, which I do. I have about 15 different ads that talk to those different buyer journeys, to problem aware, and then also solution aware for my One Ad Wonder mini course. If you're listening to this, there's a good chance you've probably purchased that, right? But what I find with all 15 ads into one, all of my money seems to go to just one or two. I've got a video ad, and then there's like a carousel ad, and all of my money will go to there. And then what I will see is that I'll get some sales further down the line here and there from ads that might have only got $10, $20, $30 ad spend, and they'll get a really cheap sale. But for whatever reason, Meta won't then spend any more money on that ad. So what I'm doing in this kind of case is that I'm actually duplicating that entire ad set, and I am having like a version 2. So I have version 1, and I will leave on the ads that are getting the bulk of the spend and are performing. Of course, if they're not performing, I don't leave them on. And then in version 2, I'm going in and toggling off the ads that are already getting ad spend allocated to them in version 1 or in ad set 1. So we're duplicating them. So I have, One Ad Wonder, ad set 1, and that might have, say, 5 ads that I know do well. And then I'll have One Ad Wonder, ad set 2, and that will have a different 5 ads. And each of those ad sets will have its own budget. So using ABO, if you're into the old school CBO, ABO, so it has ad set budget attributed to each of it. So ad set 1, if ad set 1 is getting like a great ROAS, that might be sitting at a higher daily budget. Maybe I've got $100 a day sitting on that or more, right? Maybe ad set 2's not doing as well, so maybe I'm only spending $50 on that one. And then I'm scaling them up or down based on performance, and even toggling on ads off and on within those ad sets based on how they're performing. So that's how we're doing it. And for a lot of our masterminders, we're doing it too. They'll have like really strong creatives, and if they try sitting them all into one ad set, what happens is only 1 or 2 will get prioritized as far as daily spend goes, and nothing else gets a chance. So that's when we're going and we're duplicating or creating a second ad set. Duplicating is just an easier way for me to do it. Or creating a second ad set and bringing across any of those other ads to sit underneath it with its own daily budget in order to test and force spend on some of those ads. So that's what we're doing right now in most accounts. I do have one of my beautiful mastermind members who loves CBO and has had success with that. So she has structured her ad account as far as we've just got one master cold top of funnel campaign, and she does have multiple ad sets sitting underneath, and those ad sets have different products sitting underneath. So one will have sweaters, and one will have t-shirts, and one will have like children's wear, for example, right? And she's using one daily budget using CBO. I think it's called Advantage. I can't remember what it's called, Advantage Plus budget or whatever it is now. So you're setting the budget, an overall budget for the campaign. So it's like $500 a day. And then Meta decides how it distributes that budget, that $500 a day across those 3 ad sets and then any ads sitting underneath it. And sometimes it gets it right and sometimes it does not get it right. So it's always worth testing though, and particularly going back in time to see over the past 6 months what has worked, because maybe it's just a different structure. Maybe it's the same ads that you've used for a while now that you know perform, but it's just restructuring the campaign and the ad sets in order to be able to give some budget towards them. Sometimes it's trying this different ad set, the different budget settings. So maybe you want to try CBO if you don't want to get so granular where you're going in and having these different ad sets with their own budgets, and see how that goes. And you can just flick a switch. In those kind of cases, it's depends on your risk appetite. If you've got a campaign that has been doing quite well for some time, I'd be hesitant to go in and say change it from ABO to CBO or vice versa. Because we could potentially break it. For me, in my case, what I would do personally is duplicate that entire campaign and create a second version of it with the different settings and then run them against each other to see which performs better and then eventually turn off the loser. That way too, we can get clear data where we're comparing one campaign versus the other campaign, and we can, note for future reference, okay, I know CBO worked really well, or I know ABO worked really well for me. So I hope that helps. It's a short but sweet episode. And yeah, if you found that your ads are really wobbly, you're not alone. It's very, very common this time of year. I know for my fashion brand, come January, even like the first week of January, all of a sudden my ads would just take off again. Things would get a lot cheaper and we were back and up and running. So keep that in mind. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep persevering. All right, and if you're curious about working together in the new year, be sure to go over to jodyminto.com and have a look at the different ways that are available. If you follow me on social media, there is a post over there. And I also did an email recently, but I do have different options, whether it's self-study courses like One Ad Wonder, or I've got group coaching and course programs like Ecom Ads Academy, or I have high touch one-on-one plus small group coaching and community in my mastermind if you're an established founder. All right, I hope this episode was helpful and insightful for you, and good luck with your ads. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Online Store Success with me, Jody Minto. If you loved it, please share it with your friends on Instagram and tag me at I am Jody Minto so I can say thank you. And if you really want to make my day, please go ahead and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and give me a follow. If you'd like my help in starting or scaling your online store, be sure to check out my free resources and programs at jodyminto.com. Thanks again, and same time, same place next week. Bye for now.